Hello everybody, my name is Space. Today we're going to be doing some T4 Abyss in a different ship to what I usually use. So I usually use the Gila, but this time I'm going to be using an Ishtar, and I'm on the test server actually because I do not own this Ishtar in-game. I prefer to use the Gila in my usual T4 running, but the reason I wanted to show the Ishtar is because I want to show you guys how to use a different alternative that you can use in the Abyss, and it actually works quite well because you don't need to use any expensive implants. The only implant I'm using is a basic CPU implant, this one here. You see this one, the 603 CPU management one? The fit bases itself off basically having it has a very powerful shield booster, you see here. So often people actually use armor pairs and Ishtars. They have quite a bit of armor pool to begin with, inherent armor pool, but actually the Ishtar is very good because it has a very good inherent capacitor. So if you put a Capacitor on it, it actually gets a very good capacitor recharge rate. So that means so that you can and the extra large shield boosters give way more EHP per second than any medium armor pairs. So this, but the problem is that the extra large shield boosters use a lot of cap, but since the Ishtar has a very good cap with a large cap battery, you can use one of these. It uses a Microwarpdrive to get around, it has assault damage control. This is because we have a lot of EHP per second, as you can see here, 181 per second. Now our buffer is not that big. We've got quite a small buffer, and for you guys who've already seen our previous videos, I mentioned a lot that it is important to have somewhat of a buffer in the Abyss, because you can sometimes get like a large alpha strike from the drifter battleships or Carib's Tyrannos, and they can sometimes even one-shot your shield. So that's why it's important to have the assault damage control, because first off we will get a lot of like inherent resistances and armor and destruction, and also we can also activate it, you know, so we can be semi-invulnerable for a limited amount of time. The main DPS in this Ishtar comes from the drones, and it's quite typical for Ishtars because they have a lot of bonuses to drones. But yeah, you can see that they've got lots of bonuses to drones here, and I've only got one gun here, and this is actually not made to do damage to enemy ships. It's just made to do damage to these extraction caches, so we can just pop them before we actually get to them, so that, say like for example an extraction cache, like they have nothing in them, then suddenly then we don't have to actually waste our time to walk to it, or not walk, fly to it. So that's why we have this here, just to pop those. We got a little bit of extra, like this is to give us a little power grid, because the booster and the MWD use quite a bit of power grid, so we get a bit of power grid from this module here, and then we get Flux Coil, gives a crazy amount of capacitor. You can see here that we've got like a not so good capacitor recharge rate right now, and it seems bad, but actually we'll have a very good capacitor recharge rate in the Abyss because I'm going to be running electricals. Actually, you guys know me that I like to run a lot of electricals because electricals give you that crazy capacitor recharge rate. I understand that many people will be afraid to use this kind of fit in the Abyss because of how it's using active tank, and you're thinking, oh, or what, it's gonna probably like get neutered out, right? But the thing is, first of all, we're gonna have a really good capacitor recharge, trust me, in the Abyss, and then also the cap battery helps a lot reducing the neutralizing effects, because it offers a lot of defense against neutralizing effects. And then also we can also turn off our Microwarpdrive in case something happens, and you can see our capacitor recharge rate goes down quite a bit. But we are actually cap stable even with it on in the Abyss, but without it we'll have a really good, even better than we've got right now. So that's it, let's go and start running this T4 electrical site. Alright, so open inventory here, reaching electrical, activate this, let's go. So we've got two sets of large drones because the Ishtar has a very good bonuses to large drone or drone tracking. So even though we've got large drones, we'll still be able to apply our damage quite well. So this is a wave you have to take a little bit of care. So we've got the drone battle cruisers. And it's not a big threat to you, it's a big threat to your drones, because these guys like to eat up your drones for breakfast. So you wanna take the faction drones because they have extra EHP. So we're just cruising towards this extraction cache, and we'll go for the spark grip because this has the EM damage, and we've got quite low EM resistance in the Abyss because of the reduced EM resistance. So that's why I want to go for the EM resistance. I'm actually using a Posse Multispectrum shield hardener. I think it's exactly the same as a Tech 2 one, but the reason we're going for it is because now we're shooting our gun, so we can take out this cache right here. But the reason we're going for it, now we've got the yellow one, the yellow drone here. We always have to recall our drones when we've got a yellow box, because that means they're shooting our drones. The Posse Multispectrum Shield Hardener, I'm using that because it has less CPU requirements, so it allows me to fit this gun. I can remove this gun here and use the Tech 2 Shield Hardener, because I mean it's not really necessary. You could just tell one drone to go for the extraction case, but I just wanted to have a gun just so I could do it so that all the drones can be fighting at the same time. So if we go for the tanky ones here, and we've got no more spark grip, so it should be good after this spark grip is down here. We've got really good other, I think it's downwall kinetic resistances. Yeah, the kinetic is really good. So I think it's the strikes that do strike grips. You can see these guys here, they do a lot of kinetic resistances, so we can go for the ember grip since that's our other resistance that's not as good. What's our explosive? Okay, explosive actually is a little bit worse than ember, so we should have gone for that first, but it's alright. You can see here we're recharging very quickly. And we go to this extraction case and we start shooting, or the bioadaptive now. We start shooting with our gun. See here, now we've got yellow box again, so after this one goes down we'll have enough time to just quickly, because they're very close. Shift F is what my hotkey is. Alright, let's go. You can see here 26 gigajoule per second cap stability, and if we turn alpha MWD, even better cap stability right there. So let's return our drones, and then we orbit the gate at 500, and then we just wait a little bit, just a few seconds, and then we take out our drones again. Okay, so now let's go for the blast grip, because that is explosive. I think the way I remember the attributes is that it's kind of like a blast grip. Blast is like a kind of explosive blast. Spark grip is like a kind of EM spark. You understand what I mean? Like electrical spark. Ember grip is like fire embers. Yeah. It's like, you know, the fire embers in a like campfire. The embers will be left, and then strike is kind of like the remaining one. I don't really have any particular way of remembering that one, but it's kind of like the bit of deduction right there. Look, you can see here I could shoot this thing here, but it hardly does anything. It's not really worth that I shoot this. See, he even repaired his. These field weavers can actually repair. Ooh, and we have to recall our drones. I was not paying attention there. Oh, we're maybe going to lose a drone right here. Oh, come on. Yeah, we got it back. I think we got it back at least. Oh, I think we lost a drone. Oh, no. Yeah, you have to always pay attention, guys. It's important when you're using the Ishtar to pay attention. We have got a slight boost to the AHP of drones, but not as much as the Gila, so you have to pay a little bit more attention to in the Ishtar than compared to the Gila. But this was a very big error of me. I've run Ishtar sites in this fit before, and I've never lost a drone, because especially in the Imperial Navy Praetors are quite strong. Just as long as you pay attention, then you should be good. Because the thing is, these drone battle cruisers, they have a very very short range on their weapons. So if you recall them just as soon as it goes yellow, after maybe say the drones are retreating for just a few seconds, they'll already be out of range of the battle cruiser's weapon, so they'll already be safe even though they're not in your room. So look, I'm just going to recall here, and you see it's taking damage. Now a few seconds later, it's not going to take any more damage. Look, it's not taking any damage. Now we've got the drones back. We just take them out here, put them back, and let's shoot a little bit extra with this gun here. I could have maybe perhaps used a light missile launcher. I wonder if because I mean I'm not perfect with the fits. These are obviously things I'm testing out. You know, I'm not the all-knowing when it comes to fits. There's always improvements that can be done. Let's see now, light missile. Well, we don't actually have a turret slot, so we can't use a light missile launcher. But we recall our drones now, and we keep a range of 500 because then we'll be perfectly in range. When we're all about 500, we're still at slightly outside a 2.5 kilometer range of the of our ability to be able to take the gate. Look, now we can take the gate straight away. So this is the most dangerous wave, and I've said it before in the previous video I talked about Abyss sites, is the Charybdis Tyrannus wave. And that's because the Charybdis Tyrannus waves, they can shoot wrecking shots, and wrecking shots do a lot of damage, and they can even potentially almost alpha your shields. They won't, if you have full shields, they won't alpha your shields, but if you like say you take a bit of damage, it goes down to here, then if they get a wrecking shot, then they can alpha your shields. But obviously that's why we have this assault damage control. The Huddle Abyssal Overmind, so just the drone battleship, he can also do wrecking shots, but they're not at all as powerful as the Charybdis, so the drifter battleship wave. but they can still actually be quite dangerous as well from this guy, so you got to be careful. And we're also in a minus 50% EM resistance. You can see that guy, wrecking shot right there, half our HP just went like that. And it's especially less with this guy because he does thermal and kinetic resist, and we have very high thermal and kinetic resist, so that's why especially it's a lot easier with the Abyssal Overmind, because even though we've only got one shield hardener, he did only half our shields. But if it was Charybdis, then we would do almost all our shields, like maybe to here, like go here, whip to there. We just take the extraction case from here. Our drones are going on this. It doesn't seem like any of our of the frigates attacking my drones, which is good, but we're going to go to the next bioadaptive cache to get close to that. And we can see that the automata suppressors are already destroying the frigates for us, so we don't even need to actually use our drones on them. But the problem is, though, the automata suppressors, you know, destroying our drones. So we can see that the shields are going down slowly, but it's alright. We've got still quite a lot of HP in our drones, so they can take a bit of a beating. It's alright. No issue right there. We're being wed by someone, the snarecaster. Can we maybe shoot a little bit with that gun? Will that do anything? Nah, it doesn't really do much. But the automatic suppressor is going to make quick work of him, and we've already had the web range. You can see here the Microwarpdrive is already. So this is smooth sailing from here. It seems like smooth sailing, just taking away for the automatic suppressor to do his magic. I wonder if we're going to get any good loot from this one here. Let's just see here. The thing I really like about this ship, especially, I said this before, that it doesn't need implants, because the thing is, my Gila fit, I prefer the Gila to this because it's a bit more relaxing in terms of it, because it and also it has a lot better DPS, so that's why I like it a lot. So it has a better buffer, so the wrecking shots from Charybdis are not as big of an issue, and also it has more DPS, so it'll run the sights faster, and also that means, you know, more ISK power. Another wrecking shot there. So you guys, you can't just assume that wrecking shots won't happen. They do happen. See, we've already had 2 wrecking shots occur. Okay, so that was alright. 13 mil loot right there, so that's good. We just orbit this this transfer conduit at 500 just to keep our transversal up. Let's see if we can shoot this guy maybe a little bit. Let's put 1 drone on the frigate just to take him out, because I think he's out of range of the automatic suppressor, because the automatic suppressor is quite far away. I think medium range, different automatic suppressors, they have 40-kilometer range. They shoot down 2 things. They shoot down drones and they shoot down missiles. So obviously the drones are going to take damage, and you can see here the rogue drones also took damage. And I think that this Huddle Abyssal Overmind is also taking damage, but it's just that he's got so much EHP you can't really notice it. But it would be a bit weird if he wasn't able to take damage as well, because, you know, he's also a rogue drone. Rogue drones are drones. But then again, sleepers are also kind of like drones, so, you know, maybe and they definitely don't take damage like the sleeper frigates. When they warp when they cruise around these automatic suppressors, I never see them take damage. But actually, even though sleeper cruisers don't or sleeper ships do not take a lot of damage, automatic suppressors are still very good against them, actually, because sleepers use a lot of missile-based weapons, so a lot of their damage is reduced from actually being near automatic suppressors. So it's especially good if you use some kind of gun kind of weapon. Okay, 3rd room. Let's see what kind of room we get here. Time is 10 minutes, so I mean, not the best. I prefer to have be done around 3 minutes per room, or I mean 4 minutes per room. Okay, so we've got starving bedmechs and anchoring, and I would want to take out this anchoring first, because I don't like the, and I want to take a bit of DPS so we can do a bit of extra damage to this guy here. So we'll give it a little bit of range here, take out the anchoring, because there's only 1 anchoring, then we'll be able to just keep at range from these starvings easier. We can still take the damage from the starvings, but I prefer to just be able to have the freedom of you know, cruising away with my Microwarpdrive if I really need to. If somehow he gets really lucky with many wrecking shots, like wrecking shots are still a consideration you have to take into account, guys. Look, you can see here that Ishtar's got crazy amounts of boosting. Look, whoop, just goes straight up. No problem whatsoever. Even though the starving medvac is new to me, like, what is he going to do? Because the thing is, our Capacitor is just so damn good. Look here, if we turn off this Microwarpdrive here, we'll have even better Capacitor. Like, it'll just turn up even better. And even more, if there was an emergency. Like, so an emergency, I would say, is when you have the orange cloud. You see that one over there? I think that's an orange cloud over there. Yeah. The orange clouds make it so that your shield booster uses more power, and then obviously we're going to not be cap stable for very long. So an emergency then would be to turn off your Microwarpdrive, right click, and put offline. Because the thing is, if you your microwarpdrives make so that your capacitor is smaller. The microwarpdrives do use, look, you see that, do you see that boost right there? Boof. The microwarpdrives do use obviously capacitor, but they also make your capacitor inherently smaller, so they have an extra bad effect on your capacitor apart from just in general using a lot of cap. So if I were to turn off my microwarpdrive, I'll have a bigger capacitor, so I'll be able to resist newts better, or just have a more stronger capacitor. Yeah, whoop! Do you see that? That boost right there was so nice. And this is even a C-type X-large shield booster. You know, what if we had a B, A, or even X-type? Like, dude, we would do... Like, why are my drones now separating? This is something you also have to pay attention to, guys. You don't want your drones to split aggro. And we want to keep range here, because I don't like how these guys are doing a lot of damage right here. You see, they're like, we can still tank, but it's not like, you know, it doesn't feel nice when they just lob half your HP in one volley like that. But we also are boosting all our HP on that, so we're tanking like a boss. But we can always have the freedom to just cruise out of range like I'm doing right now. Look, you'll see here. Soon I'll go out of his range. He's got about 20 kilometer range, then his disintegrator will deactivate. I'll demonstrate right here. Look here. He'll soon go yellow. This way a bit more. I think it's 22 or 23 kilometer range, something like that. Then he goes yellow. Okay, soon. Oh, I think actually it accelerated on me, so we'd have to take a little bit of an arc right here. Yeah, there you see, yellow. Can you see here? He's not shooting on me anymore because he can't, disintegrators can't shoot me. But we'll go for the extraction cage, because actually this is a bit a waste of time actually that we weren't going for the extraction cage. But it was also a good thing that there's no webbing, because they'll make us obviously go slower. And we took out the anchoring, so we're going very fast now. So we have the freedom to, if stuff goes crazy, I mean obviously we still tank like a boss, but just to have that extra comfort, you're able to just microwarpdrive out, just in case, you know, just in case. You can see here it's really smooth sailing. From here you just got these dammers left. Dammers, you know, hardly do any damage at all. Like, what are these guys gonna do? Like, you can't even see my shield moving now. The Ishtar is just such a powerful ship, and it's just funny because the ship is really a Galente ship, so Galente ships don't usually use shields. It's just funny how they're like, this guy is just using a shield booster right here, but it just has to do with how because I've noticed that with heavy assault cruisers, like two of them especially, the Sacrilege and the Ishtar, those two, they have really good, when you put just one large cap battery, their capacitor rate, or like recharge rate, will increase so much, because I think it's because they have like inherently a very big capacitor, so, and the large cap battery increases their capacitor by a certain percentage, so you're increasing that percentage, that value, like that base capacitor value, even more. You're increasing that base capacitor value by a certain percentage, and you'll get more capacitor recharge rate out of that one battery compared to some other cruiser with a smaller capacitor recharge rate. And a good example of one of the cruisers with a low capacitor recharge rate is actually the Gila. It has a very crap capacitors. Garista's ships in general, the Rattlesnake, Worm, and the Gila, do not have good capacitors. Amar ships and also some Galente, some singular ships, some particular ships do have very good capacitors, like for example the Ishtar, but the Garista's ships definitely do not have good capacitors, so that is one of the downsides. Even though the ships are considered pretty OP, you know, they have really good damage, really good tank, and a really good buffer, they do have the downsides. They have really crap capacitor. You can see here, this was then the T4 room done. It was very smoothly. We should have, it would be really nice if we had found a Charybdis Tyrannus, but unfortunately we did not. But the thing is, with Charybdis Tyrannus, all you have to do is just, you have to approach Charybdis in an arc, destroy anything that can like warp scramble you, so the spearfishes, the Ephialtes spearfishes, or the drifter null warp cruisers, those guys can scram you. So if you take those guys out, you'll have no problems with the Charybdis. So like, for example, say Charybdis is over here, and this is me spawning in. I'll just have to go here like in an arc, so not directly towards Charybdis. I'll go in like an arc, keep my transversal up, and then while I'm cruising here, I'll use my drones on the spearfishes or null warp cruisers, so then they won't be able to like stop me and trace. And after that, I would go for the illuminators, because they make my signature bigger, so they'll make Charybdis easier to hit me. And then probably by the time I've destroyed most of the cruisers, I'll be already really close to Charybdis, and then I'll just orbit at 500. So it'll be very simple, very easy. So I'm on the test server. You can actually be in the system called MOEE8. So if you type /move me like this, look here, slash move me. And then if you go to MOEE8, you can actually warp to these structures here. You can see I'm going to this Keep Star, and you can actually buy any faction modules for free here, actually. So it serves as a very good way to like test stuff. I used to do that in when the 2v2 Abyss arenas came out. Then I was able to actually use quite blinged out stuff just for fun in the arenas, because everything here costs just 100 ISK, so it's very cheap. So you can see here, from this singular run right here, we got some ISK. Let's see, how much was it? It was 33 mils. Okay, that is not the best T4. I would say any 40 mil and up is a good T4 run, but it's still decent. And especially since we're using a ship that doesn't cost that much. This ship on Tranquility, I believe, costs like 400 mil, something like that. 400 mil, something like that. As I said, only needs one tiny implant, as well. It doesn't use any major implants, so you don't need any crystal implants or anything. I've got pretty decent skills, but yeah, nothing, but you don't need any boosters, anything like that. So that's it for using this Ishtar fit I made in T4 Abyss. If you do use the Ishtar in the Abyss, let me know how it goes, and let me know any other fits you do, or if you do use this fit, let me know how it goes for you. Thanks for watching, and if you like my video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.